We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
All right, VYG, so we are actually interrupting our Touchy Subjects Facing Failure series to give you an urgent set of tips to help you, especially if you are in the VYG. Now, when I say especially if you are in the VYG, generally, probably you've noticed that all of these tips, whether or not you come to the Victory Youth Group, you can apply them. But these are going to be very, very direct. And if you're in the VYG, you're going to understand. It might sound a bit strange to you, who maybe you've never been in the youth group before, but you who are long-time members of the VYG especially, you're going to understand exactly why we're giving you these tips today. So these tips are all related to the biggest issue that we are going to always come back to, and it is love life. Yes, it's love life. So tip number one to not messing up your love life in the VYG. And it might sound a bit strange, but it is: see everyone of the opposite sex as evil. No, that's literally the tip. Okay, but obviously I don't really mean that you're gonna imagine everyone of the opposite sex has, I don't know, horns and is like a monster or someone from a horror movie like It or something. But what we used to do, I'm speaking about personal experience, a lot of people that I knew never got themselves messed up in relationships when they were in VYG, when I was in the youth group, was that we'll treat people of the opposite gender as if they were like, I don't know, a sickness or something. In the sense that, okay, sickness is something that exists, it's in the world. But when someone is sick, you don't get too close to them. And that's exactly what we would do. You know, that person who's coughing and sneezing all over the bus, you know what you sort of do? You sort of politely, respectfully move a few inches away from them. Or if you notice them as you're walking onto the bus, you avoid that sitting close to them altogether. That's basically what we would do. So whether you're male or female, you can apply this tip. You see someone of the opposite sex, and what do? Treat them like a sick person or don't get too close. Okay, tip number two is, if there is someone you find physically attractive, especially if they're in your team, and let me just say, that is not a sin. I know in many places, unfortunately, it's like if you're attracted to someone, that's something evil in itself. It's not. That's normal. That's how human beings, the human race survives. You find someone attractive, you start a relationship with them. But obviously it's supposed to lead to marriage. So this is specifically for you who are in the beginning of your faith as well. You do not need to be worried about relationships. But pastor, you know, I've just come to the youth group and I was in a long-term relationship and, you know, I broke up and now I want someone else, you know, a man of God or a woman of God. And no. The only person you need to be in a relationship with is, I wish I had one now, is your Bible. That needs to be your girlfriend or your boyfriend. So what you need to do is, if you do see someone you're quite attracted to, and maybe they're even on the same spiritual level or they're even further ahead, don't entertain those thoughts. And you should take tip number one a bit deeper. You should really, really like stay far away from them, because, you know, I would say attraction, it has siblings. It's not an orphan, it's not an only child. Attraction that is physical, quickly it starts to bring along other attractions. So even if that person hasn't got the best personality, just because you find them physically attractive, you're gonna see any little joke that they make, even if it's a really dry joke, any little thing that they do that's just okay or average, your mind is gonna inflate it. So if you're close to them, to see all those little, personality traits and things that they have in them, it's just going to build those feelings more and more. And you're going to often deceive yourself into thinking that relationship is from God when it's not. So stay far away, further away from those people you find physically attractive. Okay, tip number three. Tip number three is to make sure you are in the VYG for the right reason. Now, I know in the VYG we have a lot of activities, and that is going to always be a part of the youth group. Some people criticize us for that. Some people think that we are just, a place of fun because of that. But those of you actually are members of the VYG. Yes, and if any of you are watching who you have an opinion but you've never been before, I advise you to come and see. Because there's not a single meeting that we have in the youth group where we don't give the raw word, the truth. It's so raw sometimes you even see people squirming in their seats. And if you're a VYG member, you know what I'm talking about. So be in the VYG for the right reason. Yes, it's a good place to make friends. Yes, it's a good place where you can enjoy yourself and let loose sometimes. But the main aim of the VYG is to connect you to Jesus, the one who's able to give you a love, a joy, a peace that no man or woman can give to you. So those are the 3 tips. I'm sure you'll remember them, but if you need to play back this video to make sure you really get them rooted into your brain, yes, rooted into your brain, then watch it 2 times, 10 times, I don't know. And if you're finding yourself on a slippery slope with any of these, speak to your youth pastor, or to be honest with you, just do what you have to do, because applying these tips, I'm telling you, it will protect you. God bless you guys, and until next time, take care. Oh wait, I didn't say the line that I always say. I'm sure if you apply this tip, soon you'll become the youth you were always meant to be. Now take care.